Good evening, everyone. In my today's video, I want to talk about a certain problem that occurred for me during my whole education, starting in, let's say, grammar school. At primary school, it was not this significant, and in the course self-management and communication at the MCI, I somehow was able to find a solution, um, and to change certain things about this problem I'm going to tell you about. So basically, it's always about procrastination when it comes to study. It's always about a lack of motivation when the subject is not exactly the most appealing to yourself. And I have the problem that I'm starting assignments very late, that I need somehow the stress to study properly if I have, like, I know an exam in 1 month and I could produce a very good mark by starting to study very early. I even so start studying maybe almost 1 week in advance, which is hardly ever possible to write a good mark. I mean, if I'm really good and really interested in a certain topic, and if I'm privately also learning something about it, then it's possible to write a 1 or a 2. But usually with this procrastination, it's always like a little bit uncertain after the exam if it actually worked or not. And the self-management and communications course at the MCI provided us with a secondary, let's say, with some methods that are secondary, or that is a secondary education in the area of learning properly, of organizing your studies properly, giving methods that somehow um, help you stop the bad ways you have in terms of organizing, in terms of procrastination, for example, in my case. And we already talked about this in the first semester. We developed some methods to actually be more efficient in the study process. And in this semester, it all was a little bit, let's say, deeper. And we heard of certain models that really fit perfectly for me personally, I'm sure for many others too, to somehow have success, or at least an easier time studying, and a proper time schedule where where you're not afraid that not everything is going to be possible to be studied until the deadline. There is the model of the self-management competence, which is basically about self-responsibility, self-knowledge, and self-development. So it's also always important, and this is what I keep in mind since I ended this course, that I know where I'm good at, I know what I can do very well, I know my bad sides, and I know where I can develop more. I know where I can improve my skills. I know where I don't need actually a lot of improvement because it's anyways working. And the model with self-control and self-regulation, for example, helped me a lot now for the studying process, for the exam day at the 8th of July, to actually develop new models, new methods for me, structured methods where I write down my skills in a certain subject, my weaknesses, and yeah, this helped me a lot to somehow oversee the study process more. And I also like to do like a SWOT analysis for my personal strengths and weaknesses in in the case of a certain subject, for example, now accounting 2 that we have to study until um, the 8th of July, and this list of weaknesses, strengths, um, always gives me like more motivation. When I see I can do certain things, then I'm always like not so down and depressed if something is not working as I actually wanted. And the second model I really liked in this course was about the well-being, basically mapping the time during the day when I am, let's say, the most concentrated to study. And for me, the peak is definitely not in the morning. I mean, I'm actually someone who is able to get up quite early and fast, and but then I have to do so many things in advance, having breakfast, relax a little bit. I don't know, buying things for the fridge, whatever. And so the morning is not quite the best time for me. I would say at from 11 o'clock a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. it's the best time for me, and in the evening also, like after 6 o'clock in the evening. And then we had another interesting approach, which was the goal setting, the characteristics of goal setting by Hofstedt from 1997, where he says that we should always have in mind what we are studying for. In my case, I'm studying at MCI to have a further business orientated education, to be able to once maybe be a manager in airline business, starting to be a pilot, and then after that maybe going to the management area or being a fleet manager. It's only giving me opportunities for my career in airline business, and if I think of that, I always get more and more motivated. And then the last model was the Eisenhower model of pursuing the goal you have. So I have my my small calendar here, where I always structure the whole process of studying, and in the end I write down the goal, and when I reach it I'm happy, I can tick it. I love to tick things, this is the best thing. And yeah, it is just the most important thing for me to structure my study process in every detail. And what I try for the future is stop the procrastination and just do everything as fast as possible, because we can never know which other things have to be studied, and in the end, the faster you finish the things, the more time you have. Yeah, I'm at the end of my, let's say, talk about certain study models, and I hope I can also somehow help you as the audience in a way that you start looking at these models too, at maybe different models too, because everyone has certain problems with studying any in any different kind. And I think self-management for studying is one of the most important things in our world, where you have so much distraction besides the study process, that it's just good to inform yourself about it. And I hope this video helped you, as I said, and you can always feel free to contact me if you want some further information. And yeah, I'll be here for you. Thank you very much for your attention.